Learning something by heart, to memorize something in such a way that you can say it from memory. Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Petratul Sharajajit. I am OUM student in Sandakan Learning Center and pursuing in Bachelor of Teaching. Currently, this year, I am now in 5th semester. This video, I am going to deliver my informative speech about the structured education in Malaysia. Education is a procedure of learning where knowledge, skills, and habits from one generation to generation. We have to admit that it improves our personal lives and helps in running the societies smoothly by protecting everyone, including ourselves, from the harmful and unexpected events. The education system in Malaysia is divided into preschool education, primary education, secondary education, post-secondary education, and higher education. So let's begin with the preschool education. Actually, there is no fixed rules on this preschool. When the child turns 3 years old, majority parents will start their children enroll to the preschool education. This schooling can begin earlier, from 3 to 6 years, in kindergarten. Preschool curriculum has no formal except a formal mandatory training and certification for principals and teachers before they may operate a preschool. The training covers lessons on child psychology, teaching methodologies, and other related curricula on childcare and development. Preschool education is not compulsory and mainly provided by private for-profit preschools, though some are run by the government or religious groups, and some preschool attached in primary schools. Preschool education usually lasts for 2 years before they proceed to primary school at the age of 7. After that, they will begin tracking down into the primary education. The primary school in Malaysia begins at the age 7 and lasts for 6 years. Primary school students referred to as year, or in Malay, we call it tahun, 1 to 6, that also known as standard darjah. Students are promoted to the next year regardless of institution type. Follow the Malaysian national curriculum that includes Bahasa Melayu, Chinese or Tamil for the ethnic schools, English as a second language, Islamic education, compulsory for Muslims, mathematics, science, civics or moral education, local studies, physical education, health education, music, and visual arts. Public primary schools are divided into 2 categories based on the medium of instruction, which is Malay medium national schools, non-Malay medium national type schools, also known as vernacular schools. It divided by into national type school Chinese, Sekolah Jenis Kebangsaan Cina, SJKC, and national type school Tamil, Sekolah Jenis Kebangsaan Tamil, SJKT. Both of them using their own mother language as compulsory additional subjects. At the end of primary school, student will take the primary school achievement test, Ujian Pencapaian Sekolah Rendah, or acronym as UPSR, which rates achievement in written and spoken Malay and English, mathematics, science, concepts before they progressing to secondary education. In Chinese and Tamil schools, comprehension and written in Chinese and Tamil are both compulsory in addition to the 6 subjects. After finishing from national type primary schools, students must have the additional requirement to obtain a minimum C grade for the Malay subjects in their UPSR result. Next up, we're gonna move to secondary education. Secondary education in Malaysia is provided by national secondary schools. Secondary education proceeds for 5 years, which referred as form, it divided to lower secondary and upper secondary. In lower secondary, students study a minimum of 8 core compulsory subjects, that is, Bahasa Melayu, English, Science, History, Geography, Mathematics, and elective subjects such as Islamic Studies, Moral Education, Life Skills, European Languages, and Mother Tongue. At the end of Form 3, students is taken the Form 3 assessment Pentaksiran Tingkatan 3 PT3. Based on their PT3 results, students typically attend one of 3 types of government or government-aided secondary schools and other types choice: academic stream, technical and vocational stream, and religious stream. The upper secondary students are required to take 4 core subjects regardless of streaming: Bahasa Melayu, English, Mathematics, Islamic Studies, or Moral Education, and History. They can take no more than 13 total subjects. At the end of the upper secondary cycle, which is Form 5, students are required to take the Malaysian Certificate of Education Examination or Sijil Pelajaran Malaysia SPM. The minimum condition for awarding the certificate is pass Bahasa Melayu. Students who are awarded the SPM can go on to the pre-university or matriculation programs to advance into bachelor degree studies, or they can enter private colleges or universities or other programs of their choice. This entry part, also known as sixth form or Form 6, this cycle lasts 1.5 years, equals to 18 months. It is offered at national secondary schools, technical secondary schools, pre-university or sixth form colleges, Islamic schools, and some universities. There are only 2 streams in pre-university: humanities and science. They typically take a general studies course and 3 other subjects. If they are accepted to continue studying in Form 6, they will take the Malaysian Higher School Certificate Examination or Sijil Tinggi Persekolahan Malaysia, while for students that attend Islamic schools for pre-university studies are awarded the Malaysian Higher Religious Certificate or Sijil Tinggi Agama Malaysia STAM. STPM separated into 3 parts. An examination will be held in each term and results will be released by the end of each term respectively. Students will be assessed based on school-based assessment and centralized examination. As part of school-based assessment, they will need to carry out a project work, field study, and practical work. On the other hand, the centralized examination will consist of multiple choice, structured, and essay questions. Not only that, they will also be required to take the supplementary Malaysian University English Test, an English language proficiency test that's compulsory for admission into public universities. Form 6 is appropriate for those desiring to enter public or private local university in Malaysia for undergraduate course. Before that, they must make sure actively participate in extracurricular 10% marks activities that will be taken into their account in total score and directly apply for public universities once they've obtained their STPM results. Next up, we're gonna look at the matriculation. The Malaysian matriculation is a 2 to 4 semester pre-university course that allows to pursue a degree upon successful completion and designed to prepare well-qualified upper secondary graduates as guided by performance in the SPM for entry into top-ranked universities. Matriculation, or we call it matrikulasi, has two programs with different durations, which is 2-semester system or sistem 2 semester and 4-semester system, sistem 4 semester. In other words, the local matriculation typically lasts up to 12 months for SDS or 24 months for SES. The matrikulasi program offers 4 streams: science stream, the accounting stream, professional accounting stream for Bumi Putras only, and engineering stream. Matrikulasi students doesn't have as much flexibility in subjects choice compared to STPM students. Science stream matrikulasi students have 3 modules to choose from, whereas the subjects for the accounting and engineering streams are already fixed. There are also several compulsory subjects that require to take, such as English language, general studies, Islamic or moral education, and Malaysian University English test. Generally, matriculation students will be evaluated based on a combination of classroom assignments and examinations. Grading is similar to those of public universities, where cumulative grade point average (CGPA) is used to assess their performance to obtain at least 2.00. Upon completion of the program, you can apply for public universities once you obtain your matriculasi results. And last but not least, we're gonna move to higher education. The higher education sector is responsible for the operation of higher education institutions in Malaysia and is under the jurisdiction of the Ministry of Higher Education. Both public and private education providers play equally important roles in the provision of higher education. Higher education providers in Malaysia can be grouped into 2 major categories, which is public higher educational institutions and private higher educational institutions. Public higher education institutions are government-funded under the purview of the Ministry of Education in Malaysia, which divided into public universities, polytechnics and communities colleges, also public colleges. Private higher educational institutions, which consist of private universities, private university colleges, foreign university branch campuses, and private colleges. These 2 kinds of higher education is clearly to encompass a wide variety of elements such as labor market success, public service to society and development of students' social skills, critical thinking skills, empathy, and commitment to civic engagement. Conclusion, education plays an important role for Malaysia in building a resilient nation, encouraging the creation of a just society, and maintaining sustainable economic growth. To closing my speech, that's all from me. Thank you for having your time to watching this video.